Matt here with your weekly devotional, encouraging you to do all that you do to the glory of God.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Now this week is part 4 of our study in Thomas Boston's work, Am I Really a Christian?, where he looks at those who still have a love for the things of this world. Boston writes, I sometimes feel that my love for the things of this world is greater than my love for God. How then can I call him Father? Indeed, it is sometimes seems that the affections I used to feel for God are gone. I fear that all the love I ever had for the Lord has only been like a fit and a flash. I fear I am a hypocrite. He answers, it cannot be denied that an overriding love of the world is a certain mark of an unsaved man. As it says in 1 John chapter 2, verse 15, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Still, the most active affections are not always the strongest. A little brook sometimes makes more noise than a mighty river. The strength of our affections can only be measured by the firmness and steadfastness of the root. Suppose a person meets with a friend who has been out of the country. He has not seen this friend for a long time. The expression of his affections for that friend might, in the moment, be stronger than his feelings for his own wife and children. Would we conclude that he loves his friend more than them? Surely not. Even so, though a Christian might in the moment be moved with love for something in this world, this does not mean that he loves it more than God. Love to God is always more firmly rooted in a believer's heart than is any worldly enjoyment. If there is ever a competition between love for God and love for the world, one of the loves will win. Do you want to understand your spiritual state? Look into your own heart and lay the two loves in the balance. See which outweighs the other. Ask yourself in the sight of God whether you would part with Christ for the sake of anyone or anything in the world. If you honestly answer that, at his command, you would cast away what is dearest to you in the world for Christ. Then you have no reason to think you love the world more than God. On the other hand, if you love someone or something in the world more than God, then you are not a believer. Consider the following two texts. Matthew chapter 10 verse 37 says, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And Luke chapter 14 verse 26, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother, he cannot be my disciple. From these texts, we can infer that one who is ready to part even with his father and mother for the Lord's sake loves them less than him. In addition, consider that there are two types of love for Christ. First, there is an emotional love for him. It is like a dart in the heart. It creates a holy love sickness in the soul. It longs to enjoy the beloved. It is like the longing described in Song of Songs, chapter 5, verse 8. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, if ye find my beloved, that ye tell him that I am sick of love. Or it refers to a fullness of love, as in Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 5. Stay with me, flagons. Comfort me with apples, for I am sick of love. Such strong feelings are usually found in young converts, who shall sing there as in the days of their youth. They are sometimes so on fire for the Lord that they are even ready to criticize godly persons who have long been believers, just because they do not share the same strong feelings. They mistakenly think there is far less religion in the world than there actually is. When the froth settles below the brim in his own cup, such a man finds himself the same things he once criticized in others. This should humble him. It should make him know his daily need for the blood of Christ, for forgiveness, and for the Spirit of Christ for sanctification. So he grows downward in humiliation, self-loathing, and self-denial. Second, there is a rational love for Christ. This love is shown by a serious concern for God's authority and his commands. When one has this love, he wants to please God by obeying him, even if he does not feel strong emotions. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, as it says in 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. The emotional love for God does not always continue with you. If you lack it, you have no need to consider yourself a hypocrite, as long as you maintain a rational love for Christ. A faithful and loving wife has no need to question her love for her husband, just because she does not have the same emotional experience of love for him as when they first married. Now, here are some key points to ponder if you find yourself in a season of life where you feel like you might not be a Christian because you find yourself attached to the things of this world. 1. Genuine love for God is not always emotional, but it is real encouragement. You may not always feel love for God like you once did, but if you continue to desire to obey him and trust in Christ, that is real love. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. Boston reminds us that rational love, love that chooses obedience even without strong emotion, is often the deeper and more lasting kind. Emotions rise and fall, but covenant love endures. 2. Temporary worldly desires do not mean you love the world more than God. It's normal to be drawn to the world at times, but what matters most is what you choose when Christ and the world compete for your heart. As Jesus says, no one can serve two masters. You cannot serve both God and money. Boston uses the example of a friend reunion to show that feelings aren't always the measure of true love. Ask yourself, would I part with anything, even something precious, if Christ asked me to? If the answer is yes, you are not a hypocrite. 3. Weakness and struggle do not disprove faith. Spiritual dryness, fear of hypocrisy, and even sin do not mean you aren't God's child. These struggles often lead to deeper humility and dependence on Christ. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not snuff out, as it says in Isaiah chapter 42, verse 3. Boston points out that young believers often burn brightly, then struggle. This is not hypocrisy, it's the path to maturity. Growth in grace often means less confidence in self and more clinging to Christ. So let these truths reassure your heart. If you grieve over loving the world too much and long to love God more, that's evidence of his work in your life. Well, Lord willing, I'll see you on Sunday. God bless.